All right, what's going on? Glad here. Today is Sunday. I don't know what day. Sunday, July 27th, 2025. Currently still 20 years old, and we're still in the Netherlands. Today, characteristic spot, touching some grass, After a whole week in the office, it's good to just be out here. I don't even know where we are, if it's safe, if there's honestly, could be a terrible idea, but we're here. So I'm gonna make this video, and if you're new to the channel, the whole purpose of this video is just, I guess, now that I think about it, it's like talking to my 18-year-old self, although it could also be seen as talking to my future son, or overall things like that, right? So that is the whole point of these videos. Also, if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know that everything that I talk about here is basically myself, so you're in for some yap here. And what I talk about really is just progress, so how I'm progressing through life. So we start with a few metrics that I'm tracking right now. So this week's metrics are deadlift, bench no, because I want to recover my shoulder. So deadlift, weighted pull-ups, and Instagram usage. So I'm gonna get into those in a second, and then after that I get into sort of, I guess, a topic. So every week I have a different topic. It could be a story, or it could be some more lessons with more stories into it. So today, I think what I'm going to talk about is action, and how action kills fear and doubt. So that's something that I've learned for the first time when I was in Thailand 2 years ago now, almost 2 years ago in Chiang Mai. And so it's something that served me very well. And the reason I talked about it this week is because I've used a lot of that principle this week that just went by. Okay, so starting with the metrics, very interesting week. When it comes to deadlift, we went from 120 kilos times 7 conventional deadlift to 120 kilos times 8. So that is over a 10% improvement. So I'm pretty happy with that. But what I'm the most excited about is weighted pull-ups. So weighted pull-ups are doing some incredible things here. I think I've set myself now the target. Like what would be really insane is 80 kilos times 1. So that would be 100% of my body weight. That is really where I'm like, okay, when I get here, I'm arrived. Like, I really would like to get there. So right now I weigh about 82, 83 kilos. If I could do 82 to 83 kilos pull-ups, at least one, it would be very good. But anyways, last week we did plus 27.5 kilos, so weighted pull-ups with 27.5 kilos times 6. I'll put the video here so you get a refresh from last week. And here's this week. We did 30 kilos times 7. So not only have we increased the weight by exactly 10%, but we've also increased the reps. So we went from 6 to 7 reps. I was more explosive. I was going up very well. I didn't take any breaks. I was very happy with it. Yeah, honestly, very happy with it. And then finally I'll put the video here as well of that. And finally we have Instagram usage. So this week's Instagram usage, I've kept using the same technique. So when I get to the office in the morning, I leave my phone in the car and I don't get it out until I get at night. So the only really time I use Instagram is before going to bed. Like after a whole day at work or at the office, I come home and I'm like either eating cereal or something. And that's where I might use some Instagram. So, 30 minutes can go by very fast, but it's like, it's fine. It's important that if I have to use Instagram, I use it at the end of the day instead of either at the beginning or during the day, where could literally mess up my whole day. But yeah, improvement, 15% improvement from last week. We went from 37 minutes to 33, and the week before we were at 49. So in 2 weeks, we went from 49 to 33, which is a pretty sick improvement. But that said, boring stuff aside, which this is really more for myself and to show you that, I'm improving, so you better improve as well. Because like every day here, we're getting 10 to 20% better in every area of life. So you might as well do the same. So that said, let's get into story time, okay? So what do I mean when I say action kills fear and doubt? And I don't know what I named this video, if the importance of taking action kills fear and doubt, how I got rid of fear and doubt, how I overcome fear and doubt, whatever I call this video. The whole point is action kills fear and doubt. Now, the first time I discovered this and I came across this concept was when I was in Thailand. So my first adventure in Thailand, I was in Chiang Mai. I was not making any money at the point. I had lost all the clients that I had about copywriting. I had 100 subs maybe on my main YouTube channel, so no money were being made from it. So it was really a tough time in terms of money. Like I couldn't make money. So what I was doing is every day I was at one point I needed to find more copywriting clients, and I was just reaching out to people. At one point I was just my strategy was finding people who are running ads on the ad library, see anyone who was running ads and telling them, hey, sending them a message on Facebook or Instagram saying, hey, I can improve your ad copy, so improve your ad, what is it called? Your ad performance, your cost per result. Would you like me to send you a free one? So I would send them basically a free sample of these sort of these ad copy that they could use in their ads. Now, I was doing this at one point. I came across this guy. He was running these. I didn't know at the time what awareness campaigns were, or brand awareness, or traffic campaigns, where the whole goal is not really traffic, more just awareness, where the whole goal is just you're paying a very little to put your ad in front of 1,000 people. So you're paying maybe $1, $2, $3 cost per 1,000 CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. And I didn't understand this concept at the time, so I was very new into marketing, as you can imagine. And I said, I just reached out to this guy. I could have not, I could have just say, what the fuck is this guy doing, and just not do anything about it. But I was like, you know what? I texted him, hey, I just noticed you're doing this. Can I ask you why you're doing it? It sounds completely stupid to me. I literally reached out to him saying like that. And he answered to me, this guy, saying, hey, yeah, I've been testing these things with the AI. This was like 2 years ago. AI was very new. The first AI chatbots were S. So he was just trying to figure it out. And it was like 45, 50-year-old man, grown-ass man with a family. On his Instagram, he said he generated $4 million in marketing. He had the ClickFunnels $1 million thing. So still, definitely had a better spot than I was, of course. So what I did is just after a few questions, I was like, we went back and forth for some time. And I was like, why are you even doing that? Why not sending people to a landing page? Why not do this? Because not really because I wanted to sell him something. I just didn't understand. So the fact that I was curious and I took the action of reaching out allowed me to, first of all, get in touch with this person. So I got lucky also in the fact that, you'll see why in a second, but what happened is I then said, okay, you know what, why don't we hop on a quick call? I just wanted to know more about this. I've been doing marketing for a couple of years. I mean, tough spot, kind of want to understand what's going on, and maybe you could share some wisdom. Let me know if it's too much to ask, some stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, let's hop on a call. Boom, hop on the call. I was 18 at the time, so I now look young. I looked much younger. And I just hopped on the call, and I just started opening up. I was like, okay, so this is what's going on. This is what I'm doing. Like, I don't understand what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm in Thailand. I have $300. I don't know how I'm going to survive. What should we do here? What should we do here? Like, I just started asking him questions because I just honestly didn't know what to do. And I mean, there's many things we talked about, many tips he gave me. But the one thing that I still remember to this day, and I wrote down, and he told me to write it down, because I was almost hopeless at one point. And I don't know if you're noticing, it's starting to rain. I'm liking, the vibe is nice, it's good. So what he said was, action kills fear and doubt. So at any point in your day, if you're scared, because I was very scared and fearful and doubting or whether I could actually make it, to be honest, because I was like, I'm here in Thailand, it's not working, nothing is working. Testing these, I'm reaching out to 120 people a day, I'm not getting calls. I have 100 subs on YouTube, I'm making $0. I have maybe a few $100s left. Like, what am I doing with my life? Okay. And so at that point, having this person who came in and was like, you're doing everything great, I think that's perfect, here's what you should do. So he kind of helped me create a strategy, and he was like, what about I become your first coach? So this person was very useful to me, because not only did he decide to kind of help me with some tips, but it was like, you know what, at that point I was doing a lot of email copywriting. So it was like, you know what, I've never really had a newsletter, but I would like to start one. Can you start one with me? So I could be your first client. You know, it's like this guy was doing charity basically. He decided to start a newsletter just for me. He genuinely believed that in a few years it could have been something big, but it just turned out to be like, he just paid me a few $1,000s over the next few months, then we stopped working together and that's it. But he helped me a lot. And the whole way I got in touch with him is by taking action. Now, if I didn't take any action, I would have never got in front of him. I would have never got on a call with him. He would have never told me those things. He would have never paid me those money that I needed. He would have never, so he actually helped me a lot. Actually, maybe one of the reasons why I managed to go through Thailand for 3 months. Instead of staying 2 months, I stayed 3 months because of the money he gave me. Which, think about it, like, this is a stranger, completely stranger, who was like, father of, he already had a family, grown-ass man, who was like, okay, I'll start a newsletter so that you can actually make some money. So charity, basically. But the whole point is what he told me. The only really thing that, because, you know, I'm not saying I don't take advice from old people. That would be not true. But in certain things, like on like AI and marketing, like where, you know, the market is going, I really think young guys know it better. Although this guy had generated $4 million, which now that I look at it is like not really that much. But the point is, he gave some good tips in terms of how to think. Mindset-wise, he did give a few good tips. So this one was like, action kills fear and doubt. He had me write it down like 100 times. Action kills fear and doubt. So every time you're like fearful, every time you're like doubtful, every time you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna play out right. I don't know where I'm gonna be. Okay, just take action. Just take action. Okay, so your brain is very good at doing one thing, telling you what you should do. Then you're pretty bad at not doing it. But in any given situation, and I say this because before doing this video, I actually reflected on it, and I was like, like in any given situation, I've always known what I should have done. It's more like I didn't want to do it, right? So yesterday, for example, today, I just knew that I was supposed to finish setting up a client that then I would have to launch. I'm going to launch like tomorrow or in a couple days, but I decided not to, okay? But my brain told me what I should have done. Now, this is especially important. This is especially effective when you are in a doubtful, fearful situation where things are not working out so well. So, at the time, that allowed me to always kind of see what the next step was. So, as I said, and also Jordan Peterson talks about is like, I remember him saying, like, if you don't know what to do, lock yourself in a room, no phone, no nothing, no music, just stay still and think. Think deeply about what you want to do, and your brain, that's one thing that he said. And then another one was, your brain will tell you what to do. Like, your brain, you know what you should do, you're just not doing it. You know what you're supposed to do, you're just not doing it. So yeah, sorry about that, the camera was dying. But the point is, your brain knows what to do. You always know what to do, and especially when you're in that fearful / doubtful situation, it's important to make the mind switch, to switch your mind from, oh, everything's going to shit, to what's the best thing I can do right now. I was talking about this with a friend the other day, like, what is the best thing you can do right now? Always ask yourself, what is the best thing I can do right now? What is the best thing you can do right now? And eventually, if you're that disciplined and you manage to keep doing the best thing you can always do at all times, you're just going to have the best life you can possibly have. So that is obviously an extreme example. It's not easy. We're humans. We'll make mistakes. We all, just sometimes are just not disciplined or whatever. The point is, action kills fear and doubt, because whenever you are in a stressful situation, a lot of times the stress, and it's all like in your head. Like, a lot of times the situation is just bad in your head, but if you were to look at it objectively, so from a third point perspective, it wouldn't really be that bad. But it is bad in that situation because of your head, like, because you can't get around it, or because you're not experienced enough, you haven't been in enough stressful situations to know that this is all normal. So taking action not only allows you to forget about your current situation, because it is. At the end of the day, escapism is a real thing. Whether it's procrastinating, so on your phone, just scrolling on TikTok, that is escaping from a problem, running away from a problem, procrastination, Or you could still do the same, so basically forget about your problems, but doing it, taking action. And that action eventually moves you even forward, like even more, I guess, yeah, even forward towards your dream, towards your goals, right? So now not only you are overcoming and forgetting about a situation that a lot of times is just in your head, but you're also moving forward and improving your life even more. So action is the best escapism way of escaping reality or escaping your current, get out of your mind, get out of your head. It's just the best way to do that because it's the healthiest and most productive way to get away from whatever you're feeling right now, because a lot of times you're just feeling it. It's not really happening. So I'll give an example from me this week. This will be much more concrete. So last week I was running ads I started running ads for a new client that I signed in a new industry. So I'd never worked in this market before. So just for context, right now my business is a lead generation company for contractors all over the US. So signed this client in a completely new niche. So niches that I'm referring to could be roofing, concrete, junk removal. There could be fencing, decks building, all that kind of stuff, painting. Those are all niches. So this week, I sent a client in a new niche. Actually, a couple clients in a new niche. First client, we ran the ads. They're not getting good results. Meaning, we're on a pay-per-lead model right now. So we, let's say, get a lead for $60 and we sell it for 100, or $70 and sell it for 100. Doesn't matter. The percentage that we make doesn't matter. The thing is we resell leads. So we need to be profitable. So if I told this client, I'm selling you a lead for $100, I better get that lead for maximum $99 or I'm going to be unprofitable. Obviously, I want to keep my margins about 30-40% at least. So what happened is, started running the ad for the client. The benchmark was $100 and I thought I could do it. It was a new niche. I'm not saying I half-assed the creative, but something, it didn't perform as desired. So I spent $150 and got 0 leads. So I was already $50 in the red. Turned off the campaign, and now is where I have to figure out how to make it work, or not only this big deal that I just made is gone, I either have to refund the client or something, because if I'm not getting him leads, and if to get him leads, I'm going even more in the red, then it's just better to refund him, right? But we were closing more people on this offer. So now we had second client, third client signed in this same niche, while I had an ad that wasn't working. So you see how this could get us in a very bad situation. On top of that, some other ads that we were running for other clients, and these I wouldn't say is related to that, but it happened at the same time, started underperforming a little bit because of ad fatigue. They had been running for a long time, maybe a month or so they did need to be refreshed. But the point is, everything happened at once. So you can see how you can start to doubt yourself and be like, okay, so my ads are not working. Okay, so if this is not working, okay, my ads are not working anymore. This doesn't work anymore. This is not scalable. This is not gonna work. What am I gonna do now? Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna scale it to where, am I gonna scale the business where I want to scale it? What is the solution here? I really can't see. Maybe I'm just not good enough at doing ads. All these things that can go in your head because a few things happen at the same time maybe, right? So maybe it's just a coincidence that while ads for this new niche weren't working, which is totally fine. Think about it. I'm not the god of ads. Like, I'm 20 years old. I'm still figuring it out, right? I have a few years of experience. As I said, 2 years ago, didn't even know what an awareness campaign was. Now I'm running ads for these guys. I'm spending thousands of dollars a month in advertising on Facebook for clients and for myself. And so it was like, I need to figure it out. So it's not as bad when you look at it like that. You're like, okay, I mean, what's wrong, bro? You just need to create a new ad. Clearly that ad is not working in the same niche. There's so many people already doing it in that niche, so I'm sure there's ways you can figure it out. Like, it's not that bad. It's not that big of a deal. Simply that ad that I did not perform. Fine. The solution, creating a new ad and trying with that. And if it doesn't work, create a new ad and try with that. Like, that's really the solution. So there's not much to stress about, but still, as a business owner, I would say I'm pretty empathic when it comes to clients. And that is why another big thing that happened over the past couple of weeks. Me and my business partner Noah decided to do one big thing, and it's like actually play on our strengths. So my strength has always been creative side of things in terms of ads, funnels, marketing, I would say. And I am a much more empathic person than he is. Meaning, if I see a client, I don't know this client. I've spoken with him for 20 minutes on a call, but he gives me $200 and I put those $200 into ads and I don't get him anything, I feel bad. So that's a problem maybe. I'm not that straight up of a killer. Or same thing, like a guy comes to me saying, yeah, bro, I don't have money, the money that I would have to give you today to start working together, I need to use them to feed my family. And I'm like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna give it to you 50% just because he brought in the family factor, and I'm just too empathic. Noah is far less empathic to me. He's more like, okay, if you want, we can do financing. He is just gonna do some shit like that. So what we understood was we need to play on our strength. So now in our business, I take 100% responsibility and only focus on one thing, what I'm good at, what I like to do, creative aspect, running ads for the clients, managing service delivery, also because I'm more empathic. So I know, so I'm gonna care much more about these ads, while Noah takes care of the acquisition for our company. The point is, because I'm so empathic and everything, that also went into it and it got me stressed the fuck out. So I was like, okay, something is wrong, I need to figure it out, I need to figure it out fast, because every day these clients are texting me, hey, why are not leads coming in? Did you tell me that Monday I should have expected the first lead? Why is I've spent $200 and didn't make anything, what's going on? Clients are texting me, and I'm like, I'm not the kind of guy that can avoid that. Like, I cannot just ignore it. It's just gonna be with me in my head until it takes action. So at that point, I can do two things. I can scroll on my freaking phone and escape from that reality for a few minutes maybe, and just forget about it for some time and then come back to it and it's going to be even worse. Or I can take action. And while I take that action, not only maybe some things fix themselves, because a lot of times time fixes things by itself. I didn't even have to do anything. But the best thing I can do actually to escape that situation in my head is take action. So what did I do? I asked myself, what is the best thing I can do right now? Okay, so clearly we need new ads. So how the number one goal, pumping out new ads and testing them as fast as possible. Might we lose a little more money? Yes, but once I learn it and I find the winning one, it's going to make us much more. So it's worth testing. We do have enough margins to test, so there's no point in getting stressed out because we have money. Even if it fails, we have enough money to test it. Okay, so boom, already reframe the mind to be like, it's not as bad as it, it's not really that bad. But still, I was stressed out because of the emotional factor that these were clients' money, and that if we didn't perform, had to give also our money back. So, what did I do? I asked myself, what is the best thing I can do right now? And I was like, honestly, ask ChatGPT what's wrong with my campaign. So, what I did, took all the data that I had from my campaign, took all the ads, took all the copy, took all everything, put it into ChatGPT, and I was like, give me a full breakdown. And it took me like 30 minutes or 20 minutes just to give it to old ChatGPT, gave him a full breakdown. And ChatGPT said, okay, so based on what I see, here's what is wrong, here's what is wrong, here's what you can improve, here's what you can improve, here's what you can improve, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I understood that. Second thing, I was like, okay, now that makes sense. So I was already much clearer because to me, it's not really about doing. I have no problem taking action. My big problem mentally is when I don't know what to do. Okay, so in this case, also, I imagine when you watch this video, you're lucky. We're lucky because you can just use ChatGPT or some AI to help you with the idea generation of what to do. But once you know what to do and you know how to do it, you just gotta do it. It's easy. That's the easy part, right? So for me, already having ChatGPT helping me out, figure out what to do or what could possibly be the cause means there's hope. So if there's hope, I'm not as stressed out. And then I just had to take action. So then I thought, okay, so what's the next best thing I can do? Do more research in this niche. So I went to the ads library, boom, 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 2-3 hours of research, boom. Okay, so what's the next best thing I can do? Okay, write a couple scripts, boom, 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 boom. What's the best next thing I can do? Put it into ChatGPT, ask it what the solution is for it. Boom, 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 gave me okay. What's the next best thing I can do? Go on YouTube, more market research on what agencies are running. Okay, boom, 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 did that. What's the next best thing? Based on what I've seen, okay, the next best thing I can do is probably sign up for these 2 It will cost me $100, but I really think the ads, based on my market research that I have now, ads done like that will perform better. So okay, so what's the next move? Creating the ads on this tool. Boom, done. What's the next thing? Sending the ads to the editor. What's the next thing? Launching these ads. Okay, so boom, launch the ads, and we got a $60 cost per lead when I sell them for 100. So now I have something, I have proof of concept that it works, and all of that happened in a matter of 24 hours. And I have so many of these examples that happened over the past week. So one landing page wasn't working for a client. Okay, figure out why it wasn't working. Okay, so that led me to figuring out a new, better, more effective way of generating leads with our landing pages, and I applied it to all the clients. So what's important is that anytime you get to the point where it's like, I don't know if this is working, I don't know what to do, I don't know how this, just figure out what to do and then take action. And when you take action, all the problems solve themselves. So now I find myself, it's Sunday, I had huge problems Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now it's Sunday and it's like everything is going great. And I'm like, okay, we're getting this to the moon. There's obviously still a few improvements that we can make. I never arrived, right? I always can improve the ads, and especially what I'm doing, like it's always about testing. I need to test more things, test more. To me, it's like an endless cycle of testing when it comes to ads. But now we have something that works. And we went from a place of not knowing what to do in this niche to finding something that works great, even in such a saturated market, which is the new one we were getting into. And now I can apply what I learned and I did in that saturated market, and I now can apply it to all of the other markets that I'm already profitable in, and I can get even more profitable there. And so now I'm going from this good place where I'm at, or at least that I was happy with. Testing in this new market, mentally and emotionally, brought me to this place right here. Also, like, yeah, realistically, I was in a worse place because I had some clients in the agency that were not performing. So let's say I got from a place of everyone performing to a place where, okay, someone is not performing, so I'm doing less, so I'm doing worse than I was doing before. And getting there and going through, taking the action when I was in that spot, now led me to a place, I'm not there yet, but it's leading me to a place where all the action I've taken to get over this now brought me here. So I went from this to this to this. And then I'm going to go from this to this. And then I'm going to go down a little bit and go up. So it's a very natural thing to get in that spot of something is not working. I have doubts about this. I have fear about this. And just getting them to the next level. And the only thing really separating being in a worst spot that you were before, or failing, or having challenges, to boom, new great spot, is literally just taking action. To me, that's what it's been to me. And I guess this has helped me get out of my head when it comes to taking that action, understanding like things are going to take care of themselves. I just need to keep taking action. So action kills fear and doubt. Something that I always keep in mind, I've been keeping in mind for the past 2 years, helped me a lot of times, helped me last week. Literally, Wednesday or Tuesday, I was repeating myself. What am I doing? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what this is going on. Like, it's so stressful, whatever. Action kills fear and doubt. What's the best action I can take right now? Boom, do it. And one goes to the other, and now I'm in a better place than I was before. Okay, it literally works like that. That's how I went from the worst point to the best point every time. It's literally just taking action. Now, I won't get too spiritual about this, but there's also in the book Reality Transurfing. I've already talked about this about this book in this channel. It talks about how the whole point is you just need to set a goal, and if you truly believe you're gonna get it, and don't have too much importance, don't attach too much importance to this goal, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The problem is that whenever we have fear and doubt, we build importance. Like, fear and doubt are directly related to the importance levels you have to something. So why am I fearful? Why do I doubt things? Because I care about it too much. So ironically, I should just stop caring about my agency and things would do much better. Okay, so that's the thing. That's literally the whole point. So sometimes for us as humans, it's impossible not to have some fear or doubt, because we do always care about some stuff in our life. And so, well, in the book, what it says, the best way to get rid of the excess potential that you build when you attach yourself or give importance to things is literally to take action. So this whole thing of action kills fear and doubt that I heard 2 years ago from a random guy, a random marketer, now I refound it at the beginning of this year in this book, and under this mask of action dissipates or action cancels excess potential. So when you take action, you eliminate the excess potential that you build through your excess attachment and importance. So it sounds complicated, I understand. If it sounds complicated, I understand. If it doesn't, great. I hope you understand and agree. Actually, I don't care if you agree. It's just what I think. Yeah, so I think this is pretty much it. I have 3 minutes left on my memory card here. So I hope I explained myself well enough for you to understand. Maybe watch it another time if you really care to understand. But the whole point is, action kills fear and doubt. If you care too much about things, or if you really care about something, the only way to dissipate the excess potential is to take action. And here's the secret. Here's the problem actually. Sometimes the best thing you can do in some situations is wait. So let's say someone in your family has cancer. What can you do? Are you going to do a research? No. Sometimes the best way you can do in that area of life is waiting. But it sucks to wait, because the more you wait and you don't do anything, you still build fear and doubt. So just taking action, and it doesn't have to be related to that. So if the solution would be having 100% faith and that everything will be fine, literally believing that, and anytime you have some fear, anytime you have some doubts, take action. Think about what's the best thing I can do right now. Maybe it's going on a run. Maybe it's going lifting. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's doing some research yourself. Maybe it's whatever. But always keep moving, never stop. And I'll make other videos on the importance of slowing down and stopping at times. But for today, that's all. Stopped raining, which I don't mind. And I'll see you next week. Still, I think I'm gonna be still in the Netherlands. Yeah. See you next week. Bye.